Hello students, today you are going to learn verbs and this is my second presentation on the chapter 6 verbs. Topics to cover today: verbs of action and verbs of being and auxiliary verbs. Types of verbs. Let's refresh our knowledge. There are 5 types of verbs which are discussed in this book and they are: Number 1, main verb or finite verb. Finite verbs are of two types, transitive verb and intransitive verb. Transitive verbs are of two kinds and they are monotransitive, the verb that takes one object, and ditransitive, the verb that takes two objects. Then comes intransitive verbs. Intransitive verbs are classified into two kinds and they are verb of action and verb of being. We are going to discuss it today. Number 2, auxiliary verbs or helping verbs. Auxiliary verbs are of two types, modals and non-modals. Third number is non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs are of three types: infinitives, participles and gerunds. Then comes linking verb and number 5, causative verbs. Intransitive verbs do not require an object to complete its meaning. Now, intransitive verbs are of two types, verb of action and verb of being. Verb of action gives us information about an action carried by the subject. For example, he is sleeping. He is, what work is he doing? Sleeping. So sleeping here is main verb and it's verb of action. Verb of being gives us information about the state of being of the subject. For example, John is a good student. Here, what is his state of being? A good student. So, is verb is says that. So, is the verb of being. Now, auxiliary or helping verbs. Be verbs am, is, are, was, were. Do verb do, did, does. Have verb has, have, had are known as non-modal auxiliary verbs. And modal auxiliary verbs are shall, should, can, could, will, would, may, might, need, must, dare, used to and ought to. Auxiliary verbs are helping verbs. For example, do you eat pears? Here do verb is auxiliary verb and it is an interrogative sentence. Eat here is the main verb and do verb is helping the main verb to frame the interrogative pattern. So do is here non-modal auxiliary verb. Modal auxiliary verbs are already said: shall, should, will, would, can, could, may, might, need, must, dare, ought to, used to. Let us take one example. I shall go now. Here, go is the main verb and shall verb helps us to express the meaning and determine the tense. So, shall here is modal auxiliary. Now students, please go through the presentation and watch and listen to it attentively. Then in the PDF, I will share worksheet for you just to clear your doubts. You will work out the worksheet and submit in Google Classroom to clear your doubts. Thank you students.